WWE was one moment away from changing the course of history, changing Jade Cargill's WWE career and what WWE had planned in 2025 if they had gone through this. Not only do we have reports that back this up, but WWE, and a little thing that's kind of flown under the radar as of late, that has absolutely changed the game when we not only look at Jade Cargill, but when we talk about Jade Cargill. Now, Jade Cargill has had a phenomenal 2025, a true breakout year for her because she has transitioned from being a tag team star, something that ended when she was still the freaking women's tag team champions alongside Bianca Belair, to her mystery whodunit angle, where on a random episode of SmackDown back in November, we see Jade Cargill lay down on top of a car, and we're like, what? Then there was bitch reports she's injured, she's not injured. What's going on with Jade Cargill? She disappears from television for multiple months, including missing the Royal Rumble, only to return at the Elimination Chamber like a true villain and laying out Naomi in a vicious beatdown that you rarely get to see on WWE TV. She goes and works with Naomi at WrestleMania, beats her. They run it back in Evolution 2, beats her. And to top it all off, she wins Queen of the Ring, going over Asuka in the finals. And now, Jade Cargill is about to challenge Tiffany Stratton for the Women's Championship at SummerSlam. Odds makers have her at a minus 600 favorite to win that WWE Women's title, and I expect her to do so. But what if WWE didn't have Jade Cargill work with Naomi at WrestleMania? What if WWE didn't have Jade Cargill win Queen of the Ring? And what if WWE didn't wait, seemingly, okay, to have her win the championship at SummerSlam? What if they did that in reverse? What if they just nixed the feud with Naomi? What if they nixed the idea of doing Queen of the Ring? What if they nixed her beating Tiffany Stratton for the women's title at SummerSlam? What if WWE wanted to have her win the championship before WrestleMania? What if WWE had plans for her to feud with a very interesting name at WrestleMania? It would have changed the course of Charlotte Flair's plans of challenging for the women's title. It would have changed Tiffany Stratton's plans of defending the women's title against Charlotte Flair. Dave Meltzer had noted in June that WWE had original plans for Jade Cargill to win the WWE women's title. We don't know if it would have been late 2024 or early 2025, but what we do know was original plans called for her to defend the championship at WrestleMania. The only problem was we didn't know against who. And then guess what happens? WWE Unreal, the new docu-series or reality series, or Kayfabe is officially dead series, depending on who you want to talk to, they come out and they, throughout the series, they show multiple segments, scenes, if you will, of the WWE creative room, which is something that you rarely get to see. And on there is whiteboards of Raw, SmackDown lineups, and PLE lineups, including the original lineup for WrestleMania. One of the underlining things that were on this board is Jade Cargill's opponent. We've heard reports of it was supposed to be Roman versus Seth, Punk versus Gunther, multiple changes. On there, though, is Jade Cargill listed as a women's champion, defending that title against Nia Jax, which is a very interesting matchup. Now, Nia Jax didn't even have a match on the Mania card this year, okay? I want you to think about this. Not only would it have been a major deal if Jade Cargill would have won the Women's Championship earlier this year. Could have worked, could have backfired. WWE fans could have rejected her. It would also potentially tell us that Tiffany Stratton would not have successfully cashed in Money in the Bank, which would have been a heck of a sight, right? All this to say, WWE changed the course of history. Also, what would Tiffany Stratton be doing at WrestleMania if it wasn't defending the Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair? Also, what would it have meant for Charlotte Flair if she was not defending challenging for the women's championship, right? This changes the course of history. Who would Jade have beaten Tiffany? Would Jade have beaten Nia? Would they have just done a rematch with Jade and Nia? Like, because Tiffany beat Nia for the title in late 2024. How would this all have shaken up? Right? Like, these are questions that I have. These are questions in which we don't know right now. Right? Like, the WWE creative team knows. Triple H knows. Maybe Jade knows. But I don't think a lot of people actually know. These are very interesting questions. And it just goes to show that, like, you know, we've heard our entire lives, or at least I have, WWE creative plans, pro wrestling plans in general, they're consistently changing, right? Plans change all the time. Well, plans change all the time. Plans change in a moment. It doesn't matter if it's Vince McMahon in charge. It doesn't matter if it's Triple H in charge. Plans change, y'all. You have to adapt. We have to adapt. They have to adapt. It's just interesting to see how things have changed in WWE. Now, I think Jade Cargill will go on and beat Tiffany Stratton for the women's championship. But I am very curious to see how WWE does this. Because if WWE does not execute in the right way, I could see a situation in which fans may turn on Jade, right? Because we've done like a 180 with Jade. You know, when she first comes in, there's a lot of doubt, there's a lot of hate towards her, right? Not a lot of people liked her. But they made her a baby face. They made her a believable baby face. They put her with Bianca Belair. They put her in a tag team, right? Like, they took their time. Everything was calculated. Everything was executed perfectly. So when you go like that, it's like, oh, well, we have to pay really close attention to what we're doing. We have to pay really close attention to how WWE should go about things, right? And how WWE should look at things. So if you look at it like that, I think everything paid off for WWE. I think everything paid off for Jade, but always interesting to see how things change in WWE. And seemingly, not always, but seemingly in a blink of an eye. Let me know down in the comments area below, what do you guys think about this situation? Would it have worked? Would it have not worked? Let me know down in the comments area below. We will see y'all in the next video.